Jai Gurudev. All ready? Who's going to read? Page 233.
I can read.
Okay.
Vasistha continued. When gold is not recognized as such, it gets mixed up with the earth. When Brahman is not thus recognized, the impurity of ignorance arises. The knower of Brahman declares that such a great one is himself, the Lord and Brahman. In the case of the ignorant, the non-recognition of the truth is known as ignorance, or it is the opinion of the knowers of Brahman that the very same Lord or Supreme Being is regarded as ignorance in the ignorant. When gold is recognized as such, it becomes gold instantly. When Brahman is recognized as such, it becomes Brahman instantly. Being omnipotent, Brahman becomes whatever it considers itself to be without any motivation for doing so. The knowers of Brahman declares that Brahman is the God, the great being which is devoid of action, the doer and instrument, devoid of casual motivation and of transformation or change. When this truth is not realized, it raises as ignorance in the ignorant. But when it is realized, the ignorance is dispelled. When a relative is not recognized as such, he is known as a stranger. When the relative is recognized, the notion of stranger is instantly dispelled. When one knows that duality is illusory appearance, that is realization of Brahman, the Absolute. When one knows that is not I, the unreality of ego sense is realized. From this arises true dispassion, verily Brahman. When this truth is realized, the awareness of the truth arises in one, and all things are then merged in that awareness. When such notion as I and you are dispelled, the realization of the truth arises, and one realizes that all this, whatever there is indeed Brahman.
Yes, it is indeed Brahman. So what does it mean? Why is he repeating this again and again? We already know that. Yes, but we know it at an intellectual level. Yeah, recognizing it is very important. Yeah, and he's repeating it with this hope that maybe you are still meditating, maybe you are going into that deep silence, and maybe somewhere in your deepest meditation you can experience that vibration of Om, yeah, the sound of the universe. Yes. Why am I calling it the sound of the universe? Why sound of universe? We have spoken about this. No?
All the words are starting from Om.
When you are very silent in your deepest meditation, you will actually hear it or experience that vibration.
The vibration of the earth is the closest sound to
Yes. So what does this mean? That when you will pass on, when you will move on from this body to the other realm, yeah, to the Pitraloka, yeah, and you move on, you will hear that sound, you will experience that vibration of Om. It is the vibration of this creation. Yeah? Why do I call it a vibration? What are you really made up of? Are you just this body, which is blood, bones, atoms? Perfect. Yeah. So what is there in an atom? There is a nucleus. Yeah. At the center, this nucleus has what? A proton, which is a positive charge. Around this positive charge, there is an orbiting electron, which is a negative charge. Yes? Like that, you are made up of n number of atoms with negative and positive. Yes? Now, what happens at the atomic level is that this negative keeps moving, gets attracted to this positive, and it jumps from here into this orbit. And this one jumps from here to the next orbit. Yeah? So, like this, if it jumps and this jumps, what is it creating? It's creating a wave. Do you see that? Yes? This wave or vibration is at the basic level is happening in your body. That is why, remember, Guruji says so many times that your body has so much electricity that we could run an entire city with just the charge in this one body. Right? What does he mean by charge? This is that charge. Yes? It is there in everybody's body, and it is there in all living and non-living atoms. Yes? Everything at the atomic level has this electrostatic force, it is called. Yes? Now this electrostatic force creates waves. Yeah? And what is the vibration of Om? That is also a wave, sound waves you heard. Yeah? So at the crux of both matter and mind, you will have the core element or the mool tattva, we can call it, as a wave or a vibration. Right? In quantum mechanics today is saying that everything is just a vibration. Yeah? Matter does not exist. Why? Because at this subatomic level, everything is in a state of vibration. And electron is here, you can never say this with 100% confidence. And electron is always in motion. Yeah? You think that the door is there. When you look at the door, it appears there, but it is in constant motion. So, that is why quantum mechanics is coming to the same understanding that matter is also a vibration. Everything is just a moving wave. The same experience you can have in your meditation. Yeah? Are you guys doing the still meditation? I've been urging you to do absolutely silent still meditations. Yes? No? Good. Those who have not started yet, start. Yeah? Do your Kriya. I'm not saying don't do your Kriya. After Kriya, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, how much ever you can sit, just sit absolutely still. Not even a finger you should move. Yeah? If your nose is scratching, let it itch. It's okay. There's no need to scratch. It's fine. Just sit still like a Buddha. When your entire body becomes numb, which is very natural, when it becomes numb, you will start experiencing something silent. A silence starts happening at the matter level. Everything at the matter level starts calming down. And then, slowly at the mind level it will calm down. And when you calm down at the mind level, you go into the deepest silence. You will experience the vibration of Om. Yeah? It is exactly the same thing that you will experience when you move on after death to the other side. Yeah? Provided you are not lost in your own raga and dvesha. Yeah? Even if while meditating I'm thinking, oh, she said this and he said this, I am only creating noise inside. How can I experience silence? Not possible, no? Yeah? This noise of words, this has to stop. And it cannot stop without you making that effort, that sincere effort, that sincere commitment to yourself that yes, today I'm going to, for 20 minutes I'm not going to bother about what he did and she did and he said. Yeah? Sit down and experience that silence, that nothingness. That is where I can experience this wave, this energy. Yes? That is where I can experience the sound of Om. And that is what is called the Brahman consciousness. It is all pervading. Everything is made up of atoms, no? Yeah? Whether it is a marker, whether it is this body, yeah? Whether it is the computer, the chair, this whiteboard, the lamp, yeah? Whether it is a butterfly, whether it is a tree, it doesn't matter. Everything is the same atoms, means everything is the same wave. It is the same prana which is vibrating. Yes? And that mool tattva, that basic core element is nothing but the Brahman consciousness. Understood? That's exactly what he's talking about on this page. Yeah? Now let's read it with this understanding. When gold is not recognized as such, it gets mixed up with the earth. When Brahman is not thus recognized, the impurity of ignorance arises. Yeah? So, we don't recognize Brahman consciousness in this marker. What's so Brahman consciousness about this, we think. Yeah? This is ignorance, he's saying. It's just that the Brahman consciousness is mixed up with the matter, with earth, water, fire, ether, air. I just see earth, water, fire, ether, air because my eyes only perceive the 5 elements. What is form? But that formlessness which keeps these atoms together. Have you wondered how the atoms stay together? Why don't the atoms just go away from each other? Yeah? Millions and millions of such atoms are together. That force that is keeping these atoms together and this stays together as a marker. That force is the Brahman consciousness. Yeah? The atoms in the liquid are a little loose and they flow. What gives it that fluidity? What keeps those atoms a little further away compared to the atoms of this marker? It is the Brahman consciousness. Are you getting this? Yeah? Everything is Brahman consciousness. The only issue is that this Brahman consciousness also has the form, earth, water, fire, ether, air, and I hold on to the form and I forget the Brahman consciousness. The energy that is keeping all these atoms together, I forget about it. This is ignorance. Got it? Forgetfulness of the Brahman consciousness and just remembering matter or prakriti or earth, water, fire, ether, air is ignorance. That is why we cannot separate the gold from the earth because we are lost in ignorance. The knower of Brahman declares that such a great one is himself the Lord and Brahman. In the case of the ignorant, the non-recognition of truth is known as ignorance. Or, it is the opinion of the knowers of Brahman that the very same Lord or Supreme Being is regarded as ignorance in the ignorant. This is so beautiful. When gold is recognized as such, it becomes gold instantly. When Brahman is recognized as such, it becomes Brahman instantly. Yeah? So who are the knowers of Brahman? The sages, the munis, yeah? Even the fakirs or the Sufi people, Yeah? The bhaks, the devotees, the jnanis, the karma yogis. There have been many such people who have understood this, that Brahman consciousness is the underlying substratum of this entire universe. You know the story of Mansur, no? Mansur was a fakir and he said, I am God. Yes? And everybody around him was a devotee, a bhakt. Yeah? What is the quality of a devotee? He says, I am separate, God is separate, and I worship God. Yeah? For a devotee, two is required. Yeah? Mansur had taken that one step further, where I and you had merged. But for these other people, I and you had not merged. So they said, oh, this is ego. Or you have gone mad. How can you call yourself God? Yeah. Apologize, take it away. You know, they tried all their ways, but he kept saying, no, I am God. And then, you know what happened? Yeah, Mansur was beheaded. Even when he was going to be killed right in the center of the village, at the last moment also they told him, now also accept that you are not God. Now also take back your word. This is your last chance. This is your last chance. You will be able to save your life. And he said, how can you take away God from me? Even if you cut off my hands are God. Even if you cut off my head is God. Everything is God. Those people didn't know. They were all ignorant. That's how Mansur actually moved on. He gave up his life because he understood the Brahman consciousness. Same thing with Jesus Christ. He was crucified because he said, I am the Son of God. Yes. Even at that last moment, such great ones don't have anger or hatred. Even when Jesus was being crucified, what did he say? Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Yeah. He was so compassionate even at that last moment. He said that we should be forgiven. So much love. Mansur saw God even in the person who was going to behead him. Recognize that Brahman consciousness. The knowers recognize Brahman consciousness is everywhere. And even the higher sages, what do? They recognize that the Supreme Lord is as ignorance, inignorant. Even in that ignorant person, Mansur saw that it is God. Yeah? And it is one famous line by Mansur just before he was beheaded. He said to the person who was going to behead him, you cannot fool me. I know you are also God. You have just come in this form to fool me. That faith, that drid Vishwas, that love for the Supreme he had. Being omnipotent, Brahman becomes whatever it considers itself to be without any motivation for doing so. The knowers of Brahman declare that Brahman is the Lord, the great being which is devoid of action, the doer and the instrument, devoid of causal motivation and of transformation or change. See, this is everything. Means Brahman is the creator, it is the sustainer, it is the destroyer. So in this way it does everything, and at the same time it doesn't do anything. Because there is no doership there. Still it is the doer. It does everything. It brings about transformation, brings about change, but there is no causal motivation. What is causal motivation? Why do you do something? What is your motivation? Some raga or dvesha. I will get this profit. I will get that benefit. Yeah? That motivates me to do action. Causal motivation. Brahman, consciousness, created this entire universe without any causal motivation. It runs the entire universe throughout the yuga without any causal motivation. And at the end of the yuga, everything transforms and dissolves in it without any causal motivation.
It's not your leela or just wanted to be any, one wants to be any.
It's just fun. Why do you play a game? Remember when you were a kid, you just played with your dolls? There was no causal motivation. You just played with the doll. You made her wear a beautiful dress. You combed her hair. You took her to the market. Yeah, you bought her a baby doll. Yes, there was no causal motivation. Got it? There was nothing you were getting from it. It was just fun. That is why it is called Leela. Leela means it's a play. Yeah? It's just for fun. Yeah? So don't go looking for a reason why all this is there. It is there.
That's the way it is.
Yes, that's just the way it is. Perfect, Arunante. When this truth is not realized, it arises as ignorance in the ignorant. But when it is realized, the ignorance is dispelled. Yeah? It's as simple as realizing. It's as simple as waking up from your dream and realizing, oh, it was a dream. Yeah? Whether it was a good dream or whether it was a nightmare, doesn't matter. Oh, it was a dream. That realization, that aho moment, that waking up is sufficient. Yes? The ones who wake up like that, they get out of that ignorance. Till you don't hit that aho moment, you will be lost in this ignorance. Now, you can have an aho moment and go back into this ignorance. You know this, right? Obviously, if I become nice and clean, had a nice bath, but if I again go and play in the mud, I'm going to become dirty. Got it? Yes, so you can have this aho moment. That is your window. That is your last chance of moving higher and higher. But again, some little raga or dvesha you see here and there, whether in family, whether in job, whether in money, whatever, you can slip again and go down. Yeah? So holding on to that realization and pulling yourself up is very important. Again, holding on to another realization that comes from it and pulling yourself up. You have to keep pulling yourself up, moving up, moving up, moving up. You will reach a point where this realization becomes your knowing. Yes, there is a difference. It takes some time. Sometimes you take some time to understand something. No? Even at work, take a simple example. New job, some new application you're learning. You get trained also from the coach. He teaches you, go here, do this, do this. But first time when you go in and do it by yourself, when the coach has left, you still are a little muddled. You still don't do it that well. Then after a few practices, you manage to go in, and a few more practices you manage to go in. You ask the coach a few more questions. Then finally you master it one day. Right? So there was this time period between where you realize something or start learning something new and this point where you become a master. There is this gap. That gap is the only effort that you need to make. In this gap, you can give up, say, forget it, this application is too tough for me, I'm never going to get it. Right? And even this first, what you had started, you will lose that. You lose it all. You get what I'm saying? So you have to keep making the effort from here to here only. And it's a very small gap depending on the intensity of your effort. Yeah? The more effort I make, make notes, sit and again revise whatever the coach taught me, the faster I can become good at it, right? That's the same thing, the same principle that you apply at office, at work, in a game, learning singing, dancing, whatever hobby. Same thing you have to apply in spirituality. Yes? That is why I sit with a danda on your head and give you exams. Yeah? And somehow you will pull yourself up slowly. Got it? You have to just reach that one step. The moment you are up there, then you are self-propelled. Then you don't need this pulling, whatever. You will be self-motivated once you get there. Yeah? But till that day, do not stop. Yes? And everybody will take a different amount of time. Yeah? 10 people here does not mean all 10 will get there, together. Everybody is going to take their own time to reach there. So no comparisons. Yeah, we will not compare ourselves with others. Just keep moving, keep chugging. Yes? You will definitely recognize what they are talking about here. You will be able to let go of ignorance very soon. When a relative is not recognized as such, he is known as a stranger. When the relative is recognized, the notion of stranger is instantly dispelled. Yeah, just like that. And not knowing that application, that ignorance will vanish. Those who are in the IT field or whatever, remember those days when you didn't know that application. You had no idea it existed. Okay, everybody has smartphones. You didn't know that there was something like an app. Yeah? Today you can't live without certain apps. You need them. Right? WhatsApp and what Vonage, I don't know what Facebook app, Twitter app. You can't live without them. First, remember 20 years ago, there was no phone even. No mobile concept only. Mobile phones did not exist. Right? So, you have seen that age also where it did not exist, and today where you cannot live without it. Yeah? You've crossed this entire gap. You will be able to cross this gap very soon. And now, you can't even think about being like that, what you were 20 years ago. Without a mobile, how did people even live their lives? How did they even communicate with each other? I am here. Where are you? Yeah? How? How did they even find each other when they met in a public place? This is so funny. Yes? You can't even understand how that happened, but you've been through that. Exactly like that, you will get out of ignorance. Exactly like that, you will get out of Maya. You will look back and laugh. Oh, how funny it is to run behind that girl or that boy or that car or that $1 million home. How funny was I?
That's a good home.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly the same thing is going to happen. Yes. Provided you keep chugging. Very important. You have to bridge this gap. You cannot give up. Promise yourself in this very lifetime. Yes, I do not know if I am coming back as a cockroach or a butterfly. I am not going to depend on the next lifetime. This very lifetime. Yes? Then you see, ignorance will go like this. When one knows that duality is illusory appearance, there is realization of Brahman, the Absolute. When one knows this is not I, the unreality of ego sense is realized. Yeah? When you reach that, when you bridge that gap, when you come to this highest level, you realize, oh, I'm not this body, I just have a body. Yeah, and it's not even matter. You actually, in every meditation, can experience this wave, these vibrations that I'm talking about. Every single meditation, you can have the experience of no body, bodilessness. And then I, what I? Yeah, it's just a bundle of waves. There is no I only. Yeah. So this is not I. Yeah? The unreality of the ego sense is realized. That realization comes. From this arises true dispassion. I am verily Brahman. When this truth is realized, the awareness of the truth arises in one, and all things are then merged in that awareness. All things are merged in that awareness means what? You actually start experiencing that I am just a big ball of vibrations, and this mouse is a ball of vibrations, and that computer is a ball of vibrations, the table, everything is just vibrations, vibrations, vibrations. Got it? That is the meaning of all things are then merged in that awareness. When such notions as I and you are dispelled, the realization of the truth arises, and one realizes that all this, whatever there is indeed Brahman. Yeah? These are not mere words, guys. Yeah? This is one of the most beautiful pages. It actually talks about your experience in deep meditation. And then when you start experiencing this in your deepest meditation, you can start experiencing it with open eyes. Everything seems like matter to the open eyes, but you can experience it as a vibration. You're a walking, talking vibration. Yeah? Till you get there, do not stop. Yeah? So tonight you will do a meditation. Yeah? We'll do that meditation now, and then you can repeat it to yourself before going to sleep. Close your eyes wherever you are. Sit straight. Take a deep breath in and out. What is the truth? I have nothing to do with sorrow, with actions, with delusion or desires. I am at peace, free from sorrow. I am Brahman. I am free from all defects. I am all. I do not seek anything, nor do I abandon anything. I am Brahman. I am blood. I am flesh. I am bone. I am body. I am consciousness. I am the mind also. I am Brahman. I am the firmament. I am space. I am the sun. I am all things. I am Brahman. I am a blade of grass. I am earth. I am the tree. I am the forest, the mountain and the oceans. I am the non-dual Brahman. I am the consciousness in which all things are strung together. I am the essence of all things. This is certain. All things exist in Brahman. All things flow from it. All things are Brahman. It is omnipresent. It is the one self. It is the truth. I am Brahman. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And when you feel complete, very slowly and gradually, taking your own time, open your eyes. Good. So that completed the last paragraph on that page. Yeah. Such a meditative paragraph it is. I just completed it. I just read it out and made a meditation out of it. You just meditated on that. Look at the paragraph again. Got it? That can be a nice meditation. That last paragraph itself is a meditation. Yeah. Every night before you sleep, surrender everything that has happened during the day and remind yourself, I am Brahman. And that also what I was worrying about that happened during the day, that is also Brahman. That person is also Brahman, that computer is also Brahman. Everything that happened today during the day which is bothering me right now, everything is Brahman. Yeah. And just go into that silence. Yes. Then go to sleep. Every night, empty out the bag and sleep. Every night. Yes. Homework number 1. You don't have to do it exactly in that order, whatever little bit you remember. Yeah, or you have this video, you can just cut out the meditation part, put it on your phone and then meditate on that. Yeah, and just go to sleep. It took less than what, 8 minutes, 7 minutes? Yeah, just listen to that and lie down and just go to sleep. Letting go every little botheration that I'm carrying on from today's day. Every night, empty out the garbage can. Every night, reminder. Yes? This will ensure that your awareness remains high even during the deep sleep state. Yeah, we've spoken about being aware not only during the day but even in the night in deep sleep. Yeah? Why do you lose awareness in the night in sleep? Is because you get lost in some thought about something that happened during the day. Some raga or some dvesha I hold on to. And because I hold on to that, I'm munching on that same thing and I'm going to sleep. And then it goes into my dream state. Finished. I've lost awareness. So the losing awareness does not happen the moment I go into dream state. The losing awareness happens because I start munching onto a raga dvesha. And that continues into the dream state. Got it? If I'm aware before sleeping only, then I can carry that awareness into my sleep. Yeah? So, see that you are aware, not only during waking, but even during sleeping. And When you are aware, even during sleeping, you will see the dream phase reduces, and then this just drops off. Yeah? The next page is on the similar lines. So we'll quickly read the next page. Who's reading now? 234.
Vasistha continued, the truth which is omnipresent and which is pure consciousness, devoid of objectivity, is referred to variously as consciousness, self, Brahman, existence, truth, order, and also as pure knowledge. It is pure and in its light all beings know their own self. I am the Brahman, which is pure consciousness, after its own appearance, as the mind, the intellect, the senses, and all other such notions have been negated. I am imperishable consciousness of Brahman, in whose light alone all the elements and the entire universe shine. I am the consciousness of Brahman, sparks from whom arise continually radiating reflective consciousness throughout the universe. Even when seen by a pure mind, it is expressed in silence. Though it appears to be in contact with the ceaseless experiences of the ego sense, of countless beings who thus derive the delight that is of Brahman, yet it is beyond the reach of these and untouched by them. For though it is truly the ultimate source of all happiness and delight, it is of the nature of deep sleep, devoid of diversity, peaceful and pure. In subject-object relationship and the consequent experience of pleasure, the bliss of Brahman is infinitesimally experienced. I am the eternal Brahman, free from the wrong notions of pleasure, pain, etc., and therefore pure. I am the consciousness in which there is true and pure experiencing. I am the pure consciousness in which the pure intelligence functions without thought interference. I am Brahman, which is the intelligent energy that functions in all the elements, earth, water, fire, etc. I am the pure consciousness which manifests as the characteristic taste, etc., of the different fruits. I am the changeless Brahman, which is realized when both elation at having gained what one desires and depression at not having gained it are transcended. When the sun shines and the objects of the world are seen in that light, I am the pure consciousness that is in the middle between these two, and which is the very self of the light and of the divine object. I am that pure consciousness of Brahman, which exists unbroken in the waking, dream, and deep sleep states, and which is therefore the fourth of the transcendental truth. Even as the taste of the juice of sugarcane cultivated in 100 different fields is uniform and same, even so the consciousness indwelling all beings is the same. That consciousness I am. I am that conscious energy, Chitta Shakti, which is larger than the universe and yet subtler than the minutest atomic particle and therefore invisible. I am the consciousness that exists everywhere like butter and milk and whose very nature is experience.
Okay. The truth which is omnipresent, which is present everywhere in everything and everyone, which is pure consciousness, devoid of objectivity. Yeah? Why pure consciousness devoid of objectivity? I think this is an object, I think this is an object. Yeah? But really what are they? They are just atoms condensed really close together, tied together very tightly. All it is just waves, just vibrations. Yes? That helps understand that this objectivity is only what is apparent to the eye. So it is devoid of objectivity, is referred to variously as consciousness or self or Brahman or existence or truth or order or as pure knowledge. Yeah? So all the names that you hear, Atma, Paramatma, whatever, whichever Atma, all that is Brahman consciousness. Yeah? Purusha, Adi Bhautik, Adi Yagnya, Adhyatma, everything, all this is different names for the same Brahman consciousness. Niyati is also part of the same Brahman consciousness. Yes, order. As I said, order here, in Sanskrit it would be Niyati. It is pure and in its light all beings know their own self. I am the Brahman which is pure consciousness after its own appearance as the mind, intellect, senses and all other notions have been negated. So how do you reach this understanding of I am the Brahman? When you drop this notion of, oh, I am this body. And then you start looking within, okay, if I am not this body, where am I? Where am I? Who am I? Oh, I am everywhere in the body, but still I can't pinpoint a place. I can't even say I'm here. Yeah? So I can't say that I am that mind, because it's finally the mind that is looking for something. The mind is the one who's actually trying to objectify I or Brahman. Yeah? Oh, I am not that mind. Oh, I'm not even the intellect that is really trying to give me this logic, where to look, how to look. I'm not that intellect also. I'm not that memory also. Because memory is all about the past anyways. I'm not even the ego. Ego is anyway false identification with this body. When I negate not this, not this, not this, when I do the process of elimination, and when I reach that inner silence, I recognize, oh, that is who I am. And that inner silence has a vibration of its own. I am that peaceful vibration inside. Oh, I am that Brahman. This is the process of contemplation. Yeah? You cannot experience that you are Brahman by listening to Ekta talking about it. You cannot experience that you are Brahman by listening to Guruji talk about it. You cannot experience that you are Brahman by reading a scripture. You have to sit and observe. Every person has his or her individual practice to do. Got it? So homework number 2. Sit and contemplate, who am I? Actually try to look for it inside. Where am I? Who am I? I am the imperishable consciousness or Brahman in whose light alone all the elements in the entire universe shine. Yeah? Basically we all came out of that pool of consciousness. So the first I that came out said, I want to be earth. The other said water, ether, air. That's how all elements came out. So basically from that all elements come and then the entire universe shines. So the root is that pool of consciousness. I am the consciousness of Brahman, sparks from whom arise continually radiating reflected consciousness throughout the universe. Have you seen a mirror and in front of the mirror keep many more mirrors? Yeah? So you see a mirror inside a mirror inside a mirror inside a mirror inside a mirror. Yeah? exactly like this. This first mirror is that Brahman consciousness. And this Brahman consciousness is continuously radiating out its own reflection. Everything is a reflection of that pool of consciousness only. Yeah? Everything, every little object, every little insect, every little animal, every little and big human. Yeah? And even the devas and asuras, now that you know them. Everything is a reflection, a continual radiating reflection of that Brahman. Even when seen by a pure mind, it is expressed in silence. Yeah? This is happening in silence. Yeah? The electron jumping and moving. Yeah? The energy that is continuously running throughout your body, throughout this entire universe. That energy is absolutely silent. Right? Yeah? Does gravity make a sound? Yeah? Does electricity have a sound? Does magnetism have a sound? Yeah? Nothing has a sound. Yeah? The energy running this entire universe is silent. Yeah? It is expressed by this silence. That is why, to understand yourself, you have to go into silence. It's because you are that. Though it appears to be in contact with the ceaseless experiences of the ego sense of countless beings who thus derive the delight that is of Brahman, yet it is beyond the reach of these and untouched by them. Yeah, there's activity in this entire creation by birds, bees, animals, humans, trees. Yeah, continuous activity, noise. But this noise or this activity cannot touch that silence. Yes, it is all external. That is why Krishna says, no, the wise one is the one who can experience the silence in activity and activity in silence. Yeah, we are going to office, running here, running there, so much activity. Yes, but there is one silent corner in me that does not do anything. That witnessing consciousness is absolute silence. Got it? So silence in activity. Yeah, and in all this activity at the atomic level, so much silence is there. Yeah? Absolute silence. Got it? For though it is truly the ultimate source of all happiness and delight, it is of the nature of deep sleep, devoid of diversity. It is peaceful and pure. In subject-object relationship and the consequent experience of pleasure, the bliss of Brahman is infinitesimally experienced. Means what? All my sukha and dukkha, I like this, I dislike this, everything is Brahman. Yeah? Now I get lost in sukha and dukkha. I don't see where the sensation is arising. What is the power of the sensation? Yes, that power inside is the Brahman, where all this is happening. And that is infinitesimal. Yeah, it's infinite. That pleasure, that bliss is infinite compared to a little pleasure that you get from money or relationships or food or a friend. Yeah? Compared to these small, small little pleasures, that bliss is infinite. I am the eternal Brahman, free from the wrong notions of pleasure and pain, and therefore pure. I am the consciousness in which there is true and pure experiencing. I am that pure consciousness in which the pure intelligence functions without thought interference. Yeah? This is very important. Highlight this. I am that pure consciousness where there is no thought interference. So intelligence is functioning. Yeah? For us, what is intelligence? My mind should say A equals to B, B equals to C, therefore A equals to C. This is my intelligence. Thought is there. I think this thought is intelligence. Yes? There is thought interference. Not at that level of Brahman consciousness. At this level of Brahman consciousness, where all this intelligence is, where everything is functioning, it is absolutely devoid of thought. Yeah? Look at it this way. Thought is nothing but your use of language. Language is only for communicating externally. I have become a tool of this language. The language is no more my tool. Yeah? I have become a slave of this language, and continuously I am conversing with myself unnecessarily. There is no need for me to converse with myself. Yeah? For that internal communication, language is not required. Yeah? I am Brahman, which is the intelligent energy that functions in all the elements, earth, water, fire, etc. I am the pure consciousness which manifests as the characteristic taste, etc. of different fruits. I am the changeless Brahman which is realized when both elation at having gained what one desires and depression at not having gained it are transcended. Both have to be transcended. My raga of wanting something and then gaining it. Yeah? I keep feverishly running behind something. Even after I gain object A, I want to start running behind object B. I gain B, I want to run behind C. Yeah? The feverishness of craving is constant. Till the time you are lost in raga and dvesha, what does he say? You cannot experience it. You have to transcend it. How? How do I transcend it? With this maturity that my mind just keeps running behind different things. Yeah? When you were younger, you ran behind toys. Now you don't run behind them anymore. Maturity happened, no? Just like that. That is the only way to transcend raga and dvesha. And only when you transcend raga and dvesha can you experience the Brahman, the pure consciousness. Then only you will be able to experience pure experiencing. When the sun shines and the objects of the world are seen in that light, I am the pure consciousness that is in the middle between these two. Yeah? The sun is shining. Yes? And the sun throws light onto the computer. Yeah? That light reflects on my retina. And then the object becomes visible. Remember your physics class? Yeah, you remember that diagram of the light coming, it's reflecting on the object, that reflecting on the retina, and then you see the object. Yes, physics class this was, I think, 5th or 6th standard. Yeah. Now what made that light fall onto that object, that reflecting on my retina? That energy which makes an object apparent is the Brahman consciousness. You don't see light. You see objects that are lit. Yes? If you don't remember, go back to physics class standard 5. So he says, I am that energy that makes everything apparent to you. And which is the very self of the light and of the illumined object. Yes, he's saying, I am that object also, I am that light also, and I am that energy that makes that object your I. I am that pure consciousness or Brahman which exists unbroken in the waking, dreaming and deep sleep states, and which is therefore the fourth or the transcendental state. Yes, we've spoken about it n number of times. Yes, when you manage to be aware continuously during the day and in the night, you will experience the Turiya Avastha or the fourth. Yes, and he says, I am that Turiya Avastha, that constant awareness. Recognizing it is only the body that sleeps, I don't sleep. It is only the body that eats, I don't eat. It is only the body that talks, I don't talk. It is only the body that hears, I don't hear. It is only the body doing all these actions. I am that witnessing consciousness within. And that witnessing consciousness can remain aware even during 8 hours of night time. And when you manage to remain aware, you hit that Turiya Avastha. Even as the taste of the juice of sugarcane cultivated in 100 different fields is uniform and same, even so the consciousness indwelling all beings is the same. That consciousness I am. This Janaka also told you, whether you taste the sugarcane from the middle of the field or from the end of the field, it is the same sweetness. Yeah, however long this cane, the sugarcane stick is, whether you taste it from the beginning or from the middle of the cane or from the end of the cane, it is the same sweetness. Just like that. That Brahman consciousness is everywhere in everything, even in that evil person, even in that bad person, even in your enemy, just like he is in your friend, your relative, your lover. I am that conscious energy or Chitta Shakti which is larger than the universe and yet subtler than the minutest atomic particle and therefore invisible. This energy that we have learned in physics at the electron and proton level is invisible to the eye. Yes, and yet it is in the entire universe, in the multiverse amongst all the planets. I am the consciousness that exists everywhere like butter in milk and whose very nature is experiencing. Yeah. There is butter in milk, right? Can you see it? It's not visible to the eye, right? But it is there. Yeah. A little bit of churning is required, to bring that butter to your experiencing, right? Just like that, little bit of churning is required for you. That churning is abhyasa. That churning is cultivation of dispassion from all my ragas and dveshas. That little churning is that meditation and that effort to be aware from moment to moment to moment. Yes? So start doing a little bit of churning now. Enough of milk. You have to become butter. Yeah? Then only will Lord Krishna come and do makhan chori. Na? Makhan hi nahi hoga to chori kahan se hogi? Yeah? The butter thief will come only when there is butter. Nahi? Yeah? So today, promise yourself, today is anyway Janmashtami, Krishna's birthday. Yeah? That Krishna, I will have butter for you by your next birthday, definitely. Yeah? I promise to do some churning this year. Yeah? Keep churning. Yeah? Become butter. Enough of milk. Yeah? Your milk is also spoiled, curdled. Work on it now. Okay? Any questions? No? All good?
I just want to add that your genders also help us keep on the path.
I'm Krishna's messenger for you.
Yeah, I'm like a Krishna. You're herding sheep.
Huh?
You're herding cattle.
Herding cattle, huh? You guys are my cattle, huh? Okay. Okay, guys. So,
Happy Janmashtami.
yeah, happy Janmashtami, everybody. And see that you start churning now. Okay? Keep meditating. Yeah? And meditate tonight and sleep. Yes. I am the Brahman. Okay? See you next week. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Guru.